In the distant future, in a world where technology surpassed imagination, humanity had colonized many planets in a faraway galaxy. Everything was different from what we know today. There were no limits to knowledge and no halt to progress. Space orbits, interstellar travel, and limitless energy were among the things that had become part of daily life. Human minds had been freed from the constraints once imposed by Earth and began to sail through the vast space in search of answers. However, with every discovery, a greater mystery still remained hidden in the shadows. On one of these newly colonized planets, there was a man named Adam, a humble technical engineer. He lived in a city built on the surface of a strange planet, where life functioned almost automatically. Technology ran everything. Electricity was derived from solar energy. Transportation was carried out through flying vehicles that didn't need any traditional roads, and everything was under the control of intelligent systems that humans could barely understand. However, despite all the advancements, there was something strange on this planet. Adam felt a mysterious presence. There were inexplicable signals that occasionally appeared on his electronic devices, encrypted messages, numbers that appeared and disappeared quickly, as if they were monitoring his movements. These signals piqued his curiosity, especially since he wasn't the only one who noticed them. Yet everyone around him dismissed them as system errors or the result of space weather effects. Adam became obsessed with finding the meaning of these messages. System gaps started to appear more frequently, and he resisted living in a world where he thought everything was under control. He began spending long hours analyzing the symbols and codes that appeared on his devices, and eventually, he managed to crack the code. The big surprise came. The messages weren't just random codes or system errors. They were secret messages sent from an unknown organization, working in the shadows, with the aim of controlling life on this planet and other planets. He discovered that there was a secret network of technologies capable of modifying human consciousness, turning the human mind into a mere tool controlled by this secret organization. The organization had developed extremely advanced methods for traveling between parallel universes, where humans could move between different worlds, not just through the body, but through the mind. Each person could live in multiple worlds at the same time. This wasn't just science fiction. It was reality, an undeniable truth the entire world had overlooked. As his discoveries unfolded, Adam realized that this organization wasn't only seeking to control humans, but was attempting to use these technologies to dominate their minds, transforming them into mere tools to serve their own purposes. They had the ability to change reality itself, reshape human consciousness, and harness individuals for their own interests. Adam traveled across different worlds through the technologies he had discovered, but each world was different from the next. In one of the worlds, humanity had reached its peak, where wars had ended and peace reigned among all. In another, technology had destroyed everything, and humanity was in a state of complete decline, with the planet suffering from a severe shortage of resources. As he traveled between these worlds, Adam realized that the organization was behind all these catastrophes. They were striving to control these parallel worlds, aiming to become the sole power controlling the entire galaxy. However, the challenge was greater than he had imagined. Each world presented its own challenges. In one of the worlds, there was a people who had discovered the truth behind the organization and began resisting their plans. But this resistance was too small and incapable of facing the overwhelming power that controlled everything. From this point on, Adam began to question the truth of what he was seeing. Was he part of the plan? Or was the real resistance hidden within another person? In his ongoing adventure, Adam was forced to make tough decisions. He had to confront a series of complex questions about the nature of reality, whether the parallel worlds were merely copies of the reality itself, or if they represented completely independent universes. As he continued his search, he began to doubt their ability to return to their original world, and whether it was worth the struggle. But one thing he knew for sure: the organization would not let him escape easily. The deeper he ventured into the realm of parallel universes, the more he felt the influence of this network on himself. His mind began to change, and he started feeling that consciousness itself could transform into an inescapable prison. His memory began to intertwine with reality, and it became increasingly difficult for him to distinguish between what was real and what was merely an illusion planted in his mind. The dimensions became muddled, and each time he moved from one world to another, he faced people trying to pull his mind away from the truth. He began to question his existence, wondering if he had lost his mind entirely. But there was a mysterious force within these parallel universes, something greater than the organization, manipulating destinies and making events unfold without explanation. He had to uncover this force, not only to save himself, but also to free the rest of humanity from the grasp of the organization that was controlling their minds. Each world he experienced changed over time. Some worlds revealed extraordinary progress for humanity, while others were marked by disaster. The entire galaxy was a vast network of parallel universes controlled by this dark organization. But the closer he got to revealing the truth, the more he felt that every step was leading him toward the greatest trap set by these mysterious forces. As Adam progressed on his journey, he became more immersed in the secrets surrounding the parallel worlds. He discovered that there was an invisible network linking these universes, and each transition from one world to another required opening a precise electronic gateway. Each world interacted with the others in strange ways, sometimes affecting each other without being immediately apparent. He sensed that mysterious figures were watching his every move, but they weren't always human. In one of the worlds he visited, he discovered that a group of humans who had moved to this world had begun to form a secret government working against the organization. These people knew what was going on, but they were hiding in the shadows, afraid of being discovered by the network monitoring the parallel universes. This group was called the Supporters, and their goal was simple: to stop the organization before it controlled the entire galaxy. But Adam's task was not easy. Over time, he began to notice that the minds of individuals affected by the network of parallel universes were behaving strangely. Even though they thought they were resisting, invisible forces were controlling their minds in ways that made them act as though they were in a completely different reality. It was as though they were nothing more than tools, parts of a bigger plan from which they could not escape. Adam wondered if he had become part of that plan himself, especially after discovering that parallel organizations were manipulating him at every turn. Sometimes he felt as though he was reliving the same events every time he moved between worlds. He began to suspect that his mind had been imprisoned and that he might never return to the reality where his journey had begun. Yet, his determination to stop the organization was stronger than any doubts. In another world, Adam faced a challenge greater than ever before. A planet was entirely covered in ruin and destruction, where its inhabitants had lost all hope of survival. It seemed as though this planet had been deliberately destroyed, as if this was the fate of all planets trying to live outside the organization's control. As he searched through the rubble, he discovered something astonishing. A message hidden among the debris, left by an unknown person. The message contained information about a mysterious force, one that everyone thought was merely a myth. This force was the limitless mass, an infinite energy source capable of moving entire universes. Whoever controlled it would be able to manipulate everything in the galaxy, even alter the fundamental laws of physics. This mass was capable of influencing the worlds in ways beyond imagination, and it was the very reason parallel universes existed in the first place. By this moment, Adam began to realize that the organization's true goal wasn't just to control minds, but to acquire the limitless mass to expand their influence beyond the current galaxy. The organization had known about this power for thousands of years, using the parallel universes as a means to reach it. Each time Adam opened a gateway to a new world, he grew closer to the limitless mass and to discovering a way to stop this force. But he knew this journey would be fraught with dangers, and he might have to sacrifice everything to reveal the truth. With every step he took, the events of the ending accelerated. But the only thing that stood between him and the limitless mass was the imminent threat posed by the organization. He faced a difficult choice. Would he continue trying to stop them, despite the enormous sacrifices he might face? Or would he step aside and accept being part of this vast system controlled by mystery? The more challenges he faced, the more he questioned whether this was the end he had been destined for from the beginning. Perhaps all the parallel universes were just a game designed by some higher power, but the most important question for him now was, would he be able to change his destiny? And was there hope that he could escape from this tangled reality? As he continued to move between the different worlds, he desperately tried not to lose himself in the turmoil. His memories intertwined with events, and his emotions changed rapidly. The closer he came to reaching the limitless mass, the more he felt an invisible force pushing him to turn back. But he was determined to move forward. He didn't know what awaited him in the end, but he knew this journey, no matter how long, would be the one that determined the fate of all. Adam became more certain than ever that his destiny had become irrevocably tied to everything he had discovered so far. After all the travels between worlds, and with every challenge he faced, he felt as if everything had been laid out for him. He knew that nothing would ever be the same as it was before he embarked on this journey. The power he sought was not merely a means of survival or controlling the world, but a key to understanding existence itself. In his final journey, he reached the planet of the limitless mass. There, he met the mysterious force that had controlled the destiny of so many worlds. But as Adam came face to face with it, he realized that what he thought was the answer to everything was merely a reflection of a deeper truth he had yet to understand.